Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It seems like a really unique idea. Like I haven't ever heard of a there's lots of films of the sort of the pedo character and like it's sort of like creepy, and this one sort of like turns it on its head and it's sort of it kind of it's a horror film, but it's also kind of questioning stereotypes in society as well, which I find is really interesting.
I think it's also that whole kind of it being the person who's right next to you, like you trust someone, you support them and everything, and you find out that actually they are not who they seem to be, and I like that whole kind of concept of it as well. So okay.
Yes, I would be interested in watching this film, but I would be like really scared whilst watching this film, which is a good thing because it is a horror movie. So yeah, I would be interested.
I would be interested because the idea of having messages and like ways of trying to communicate with the people that are alive to try and get her to see who killed her is really smart.
No, I think it's a really unique idea, and I think I really like it. I can't think of anything. There's no major like sort of problems in it. What you've heard,
Yeah,
I'm really intrigued by it already.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's simple.
Yeah.
So I think changing it would make it too complex and then putting too much into it. And I think sometimes simple is more scarier than when you have such a complex plot and theme.
And then maybe when you start filming, it might change. But so far, I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would say is maybe have more of a reason why they're killing the little girl. Just a bit more in depth, like so that we as an audience understand after in the end.
Depends on how you do it. Like if you do it in a really sort of gory, like slasher style way, then it will be. But if you do it in a sort of more like thriller, like sort of like creepy way, then I think it's fine. I think it's.
Yeah, if you don't show it, like if you don't show torment and torture to a little child, it'll be okay.
Either way, it's sort of not a nice topic. It's sort of a horror genre topic.
Yeah.
So I think it doesn't make it any scarier than it being a teenage girl. It just makes it more intriguing because it's not the usual sort of.
And there's like millions of cases where you've got teens killing kids, and there's just so many stories I've heard, and like school killings and all of that. So they're all fit together.
Yeah, it's very graphic and extreme, but it does happen. But it is quite sensitive so you need to know how to play that out well.
I think it is graphic, but if you guys had an explanation why, like just say the best friend was actually really crazy, then it's kind of like, oh, we understand. Not really understand, but kind of understand, that type of thing.
Something like, I don't know, the neighbours, like something about, I think the thing that's scary is it's sort of like a local community that have sort of are turning against each other. So something, like about like something that kind of incorporates that, but I'm not really.
I think you could also have like a name, so either the name of the little girl or the name of the neighbourhood, because like if you want to have like an isolated neighbourhood, I think you could have like the name of the neighbourhood and you're like, this is what happens in the neighbourhood type thing. So I think a name would actually fit well. So if your little girl's called Hannah, call it Hannah. So yeah.
What do you think?
Demented. Or something like that. Or The Unknown. Or like
or Liar Liar, like you could have it say
maybe. Or because like the character is like all pretty and stuff and she's killed people, it's a bit like opposite of what you would typically think they would look like, so an opposite name I think would be a good name.
This one's kind of, it's like involves teenagers, but it's different.
Yeah, and usually like now with horror films, now that everything's like a 2 or 3 and a 4 or whatever, at the beginning of horror films you already know what the ending will be, happily ever after, or someone will come back type thing. And I think the fact that you have such a major twist in it that the audience won't know about, and it's a shock at the end of the film, I think.
Definitely, because the plot is really good and it's twisted, it's a puzzle.
Same.